So we are at the Wahweap Overlook. It's in the Glen Canyon National Recreation Area near Page, Arizona. So beautiful view that we're taking in this morning. We actually thought about doing this yesterday, but just with timing of eating and then sunset had passed, so we're like, we just decided to do it this morning. But it's beautiful and absolutely no cars but us here this morning, so it's awesome.
Yeah. And today I think we're going to do, it's more of a driving day today, but we are going to drive into Canyonlands and take in some of those views there, and just the views along the road too, through Monument Valley,
and yep,
see the Forrest Gump Hill.
Canyonlands. We plan to go to Goosenecks State Park in Utah as well and see the meandering river. So we're excited for more adventures today.
Yeah, so come along.
On our way to our next stop, we drove past the Monument Valley Navajo Tribal Park. It is currently closed due to COVID, but you can drive past the majority of it just on your way into Utah. It straddles the line of the state lines of Arizona and Utah. It's part of the Colorado Plateau, and it's characterized by a cluster of vast sandstone buttes, the largest reaching 1,000 feet. It's been in a lot of different media over the years. It's a very popular television and movie spot. One spot that I know I've seen it in is Back to the Future 3. And while we were in the park, we ended it with Forrest Gump Hill, another media that it's featured in. If you've seen the movie from the 90s, when Forrest Gump goes on his long run, that's where he ends his run, is on the road going away from Monument Valley by saying, "I think I'll go home now." So yeah, it was a fun time going there, and definitely recommend it.
was an operation. We went to go to the gas station in Mexican Hat, but all of their like card systems are down. So we ended up going like a half hour the other direction to Bluff, and they did have an ATM that was working. So we are on our way back and can't wait to see Goosenecks State Park. So our next stop on the drive was Goosenecks State Park in Utah. Now, the interesting thing about the Goosenecks State Park is it is a unique type of formation that is an entrenched river meander. So the river has formed narrow strips of canyon wall, and it's an oddly symmetrical pattern that's rarely seen in nature. And when looked at it at the right angle, you can see how the river resembles a goose's neck. It is a similar formation to Horseshoe Bend outside of Page, Arizona, but it is less trafficked than Horseshoe Bend, and I would say it from pictures, the side-by-side pictures that we've looked at, it is just as beautiful, and it has more bends because of the goosenecks than Horseshoe Bend has as well.
Toward the end of the day, we made our way toward Canyonlands National Park, which would be the second national park that we went to on our trip. So we first took in, on this day, we went to the Needles District, which is not as trafficked as the Island in the Sky District, but it is a beautiful part of the park as well. It's toward the southeast corner of a very large park, which Canyonlands is. It's called the Needles District because it's named for the colorful spires of cedar mesa sandstone that dominate the area. During our time in the Needles District, we drove the main road there, and some of the main places we stopped were the Wooden Shoe Arch Overlook and then the Big Spring Canyon Overlook, which is right at the end of the main road that you drive on the Needles District. It was definitely a beautiful area, and we highly recommend. Not very trafficked, and if you were looking for a spot other than Island in the Sky, which is pretty heavily trafficked, we highly recommend it. Right off the road, we stopped at Newspaper Rock. It is a pretty cool area that shows petroglyphs. So For more than 2,000 years, Native Americans have been marking these ruins, telling the stories, hunting patterns, crop cycles, and mythologies of their lives. We'll never quite know exactly what they were communicating, but it's a pretty cool spot just to take in if you're visiting the Needles District.
So we're about done with our first full day in Utah, or almost full day. We started out in Arizona, left Page, Arizona this morning. Started out at the Wahweap Overlook. It was absolutely breathtaking views of Lake Powell. You could really see just how low the water levels were, though, which we saw at Lake Mead.
That seems to be like the general theme with bodies of
just
water.
Yeah, it was a little bit more of a travel day, but it was a good day. I mean, we saw lots of great sights.
Saw Monument Valley. Got to, as you saw, we went to the Forrest Gump Hill.
Yep.
Of course, had to get our pictures there.
Yeah, that was really fun, and we went through to a couple of the pullouts too, and those were beautiful as well.
And we also did Goosenecks State Park, which was an adventure, as you had heard previously. And then once we got to Utah, we checked into our Airbnb cabin, and it is I love it. It's so just kind of rustic and western, and it looks like it's just a nice, clean place.
Yeah,
to stay.
It's pretty. It's
something different.
It's pretty much right next to the Navajo Mountains. It's in between Monticello and Blanding.
We'll have to get a clip of the mountains here for tomorrow.
Absolutely. But the day pretty much concluded at Canyonlands National Park.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect with Canyonlands. I am not the planner for our trips, so I did not do too much research to know kind of what I was expecting. But I was very pleasantly surprised with just how beautiful it was, and like the different landscapes just within the we did the Needles portion, or
the Needles, whatever you want to call it, the Needles area,
and just Needles District. Needles District. And it was gorgeous. Like the way the scenery kind of changed throughout just that one district was really cool, and look forward to seeing. I think we're going to do Island in the Sky District.
I think
tomorrow?
We'll possibly see it tomorrow. That's the plan right now. So.
Look out for that video. But yeah, it's been so far. Utah has not disappointed. So.